For a long time, the left, or at least the center, has had sort of a monopoly on political comedy with shows like The Daily Report and The Colbert Report, the late night shows and all of that. But that has now changed with the introduction of Greg Gutfeld's new show, Gutfeld. Sorry, Gutfeld, because it's got an exclamation point at the end of it for some reason. Anyway, I read on Fox that it's here to scare the people who love to scare you, and that he's going to cancel culture, which I'm sure is intended to be a joke, but is actually a great commentary on the fact that they cancel just as much as the left does. Anyway, announcing the show, he says it's a talk show on a cable news network, and it's run by somebody who is not a typical newscaster. I'm not like any of the competing hosts. I'm not a comedian. And we have fact checked that, and it has borne out because we want to show you a bit of the first show, which just happened yesterday. And I will say, comedy is hard. That will be the intro for this first video.
You all made a great choice. For proof, over at MSNBC, let's see what Brian Williams is up to right now.
Good evening, I'm Brian Williams, and I am on Mars. Yes, I jumped on a chopper and now I'm on Mars. I've been here for a year now. I built a castle here made of mastodon carcasses and marshmallows. This is where I invented all the COVID vaccines, as well as penicillin, the smartphone, and fluffernutter.
Some things never change.
I counted 2 jokes about marshmallows in that segment, which was, Ida, a reference to the Brian Williams scandal from 2015. It was just a random reference to something that happened 6 years ago.
You know what's funny is that Brian Williams is trending and not Gutfeld.
Well, maybe he did his job. He's just putting them back in the news, I guess.
But it's people tweeting about how it wasn't funny. So that's why it's like, they were like, it's not even funny. You know, listen, I listened to the whole monologue and I thought that it was very interesting to hear this centrist take. I'm here to take down the corporations. I'm here to take down everybody, which is a popular take right now. Oh, I guess I'm a socialist because I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It's just another white guy exercising his privilege, being unfunny and talking about what funny is, telling people what funny is. Another straight white guy just doing that dumb stuff that they do. Listen, I know some racist comics who are really funny, but when I see these conservative comics who take this conservative take, a lot of them are not funny. And I'm not just saying that, I'm putting myself, on the line right now by publicly saying this as a comedian, because now people are gonna scrutinize my comedy and I know how this thing works.
It can stand up to it. Your comedy can stand up to it, don't worry.
Yeah, no, it didn't make me laugh. Did it make you laugh? Like, I just want to listen. I believe you should be able to get them all, right? That's what comedy is. You should be able to make fun of all the politicians, and you should be able to make some good points. The fact that he thought his stuff was funnier than everybody else is what made it hard to watch. This smug approach and this sitting back like this is the time where you laugh. I mean, we know you're not a comedian because we can tell. Like comedians, have to work really hard instead of just writing our jokes and thinking we can just read them out loud and people are gonna laugh. That is just, you could take on Colbert and Fallon and Kimmel all you want, but they historically have been able to do their jobs well for a very long time. And whether you like their political takes or not, Stephen Colbert has been able to deliver some really funny stuff in the midst of the hardest things that have been happening in this country. Totally. And sometimes it's a little heavy-handed, and he did kind of perv on Trump a little too long for me, but because there were other things to talk about and to poke fun at. But he called out the best late night comics on air right now as if he were a match. And I know that
let's show that. We actually have that footage. So why don't we show that and then we'll give commentary. Here he is addressing the competition.
What's on CNN?
You, sir, are a racist.
You are racist.
You are white male
terrible.
racist.
You're the racist.
Racist.
Awful.
That's from the Don Lemon Hour, who reports the news with the same look your mother gave you when she found weed in your sock drawer. As for those late night shows we're supposed to compete against, why bother? Who do they offend? The only time Stephen Colbert ruffles feathers is in a pillow fight. The definition of risk to Kimmel is dehydration from crying too much. Fallon, that guy fawns more than a herd of deer. And I heard Seth Meyers and Trevor Noah ran off to be obscure together. So let him be. They got the market cornered in calling Americans stupid. To them, it was never about Trump, it's Trump voters. It's not about guns, but gun owners. It's not just about destroying statues, it's anyone who thinks math is real.
I don't even understand what that's a reference to. The Jimmy Kimmel thing was kind of funny a little bit, but the rest of it was just puns. No.
He thinks that comedy is about offending people. He said, who do they offend? So he already doesn't know what comedy is about, right? Because comedy is not about offending people. Comedy is to be funny, to make you think. It is to provoke. It is to, and if you get offended because of it, then so be it. And that may be something else, but that comedy's purpose is not to offend. So we already know he doesn't understand comedy, which is why he can't master it. I would respect this more if it was on YouTube, if it was independent, but because it is part of a machine, the Fox machine, your whole argument about corporations go out of the window because you are there serving a corporation and one that is responsible for a lot of propaganda. So we don't believe that you are actually doing this because you're doing it for the people. Yeah. But the whole thing about him, targeting the late night hosts, and that you hear the three people in the studio laughing because those are the only people laughing at the joke. They're probably the ones who wrote them.
That's entirely possible. Oh, and a lot of people are pointing out in the chat, notice he didn't bring up John Oliver. Maybe he doesn't want to be the focus of John Oliver's next segment or whatever. And John Oliver's very funny. He's probably my favorite right now, although I really liked Michelle Wolf before she was canceled. I thought that was very funny and different, but.
Also Conan O'Brien, he didn't target Conan.
That's true too, yeah. Okay, there's one last little bit where I wanted at least a little bit where he addresses something that's in the news, and it's like, look, we're doing this segment because he's a bad guy and I like to laugh at him. He's basically Brian Kilmeade, but mean and less funny. That said, I'm still a lefty, so my heart breaks sometimes to see people suffering, and you're about to watch a man suffering.
So screw you, MLB. Your stupid exhibition game is about as entertaining as a match of cornhole on ESPN at 3 a.m. in the morning. And screw Delta and screw Coke. In fact, screw all corporations. You stupid execs are cowards and bad golfers. You cheat on your taxes and you cheat on each other. I hope Dems raise the corporate tax to 99%, except on Fox, which should be tax exempt.
Oh, the delivery was so bad. Dude, read your script before you do it, please. Just rehearse once, honestly. It's just terrible. And it's tough. Ida, one of the reasons you're so amazing is because you're good, and comedy is like the hardest art form. I don't do a comedy show because it's too hard. You don't have to do comedy, Greg, seriously. You could just do stupid, triggering the libs. Talk about Dr. Seuss for a while. That seems to play pretty well. You'll get paid millions. You don't have to try to do comedy. It's really tough, and it's especially tough for right wingers because you guys are defending bad people and attacking those who are suffering. That is not a firm foundation for humor.
Yeah, but earlier in the monologue, he did defend what happened in Georgia, and it was. He compared it to, what did he compare it to? I just forgot that quick because that's how unforgettable the monologue was. But he compared voting to. Oh,
it was like to buying a beer at a baseball game or something, maybe? I don't remember, honestly.
It was a false equivalency, but it was not dumb. I mean, it was dumb and not funny. But I just think that if you're gonna use a late night show because you wanna further the Fox News agenda and these talking points that are harmful to all of the Americans, not just the people who suffer the most because of them. It's just like I said, do that. I just think that the jokes are poorly constructed. I think the delivery is sloppy. I feel like a judge on American Idol right now. I didn't feel anything from him. All I felt was the smugness, even the pulling out of the glasses was mechanical, and it just all felt like he doesn't have any friends, like real friends. Nobody in his life is honest enough to say that is some trash. You shouldn't put that out, because nobody's gonna believe it. And the people who are pretending to believe it, they're just laughing at you, bro. They're not really laughing with you.
Yeah, you just have to like I'm trying to write, and it's tough. I'm in a writing group specifically because these are people I trust to tell me when my stuff is bad. You need that. You need that. Anyway, really fast to close up though. I didn't want us to do this whole segment on comedy with the only comedy so far just being Ida. I wanted to add a little bit too that I saw in reply to Greg Gutfeld's tweet. So they're very subtle. They're very quick. I liked Dylan's tweet in response. Just a screenshot from the Joker. Too good. It's too good. Awesome. And then I gotta give credit to Michael Schor for his tweet. Oof. Oh my God, Greg Gutfeld not only wrote it, he then filmed it. And then after he filmed it, he posted it on Twitter. Oh my God, oof.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.